Yeah,
we gotta go to some young ballers, man, who finally got they, got their swag right, man. In they public beat, they could be still hating on each other, whatever. But in public, man, they got right. I wish Jay Kent would go in there and style these dudes, man, because I don't know what they was wearing at this concert. But they did a dope concert in LA, man, to free Larry Hoover. What was your thoughts? And then also, which was dope, they partnered with Amazon to stream it 4K. What was your thoughts, man, on the concert? Even if you didn't see it, just what's your thoughts on the whole movement as far as these brothers getting together, ending beef instead of basically continuing this beef, which we've seen how some of that ends. How do you guys think about just the overall aspect of this situation?
Man, just the optics was great. Regardless of how you feel about the music that these dudes is putting out now.
Right.
It's all about the optics. I mean, these are two of the most powerful, and you could say they 1A and 1B as far as like power players in hip hop right now. And for them to come together for this benefit, once you get Republicans starting hating on you, that's when you know you got a big event. That's when you
I don't like that at all, guys. I don't like it.
I mean, even the feds, like when you got Republicans and the feds getting on you about this, that's this shook the earth a little bit. This was a tectonic plate move.
Oh,
so I respect, man, Kanye.
And shout out
and
to
Drake
Jay Prince too.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Jay Prince, because there's subliminal in a lot of things that we do. A lot of times it's not good, but in this case, I would say, man, the fact that they understand that there's a lot of issues going on in our community, and what better person, like ID brought up in the Black Table Talk, check that out too.
Check it out.
Larry Hoover is a dude who can bring communities together because he's such a he's
a polarizing figure,
He's a polarizing figure, but he's infamous, and he's reformed. So why not give this man a chance? Because the folks who's doing this today ain't getting it done. I would rather take a chance on somebody like Larry Hoover, who's proven in the past that he can put a squad together. Now, I mean, it turned for the worse, but he knows how to.
Hey man, you gotta get your hands dirty when you're building the empire.
You got to get your hands dirty, man. But it's all about digging into the core of what's going on, and what better person to be able to kind of pull us out of that.
I think he's the only man that can basically save Chicago.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm talking about Chicago. So if you can save a city like Chicago, then you can start to hit up the Memphises and the Birminghams and the New Orleans and some of these other places that's going through the same issues, man. And it starts in a place like Chi-Town, man. I think Larry Hoover he can get it done. I mean, it might sound like hopeful. I'm not trying to make this man out to be a prophet at all. It's more so, you know what I'm saying? The dude's reformed. I've seen some of the work that he's done. And I again, if you can get Drake and Kanye to squash they beef for this, because let's be honest, man, this wasn't a situation to really just fatten their pocket. It wasn't that type of move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And don't get me wrong, they made some money that night.
They made some money, but it wasn't
it's going to a good cause.
For sure.
It wasn't like the Astro bread. They weren't going in that direction with it. This was for an actual cause. And I respect these brothers for getting that done. I'll let LB jump in here, man, and drop his gems on it.
Hey, man, you covered this up. You covered the topic like clearly, man. And the thing to know is I kind of want to dive in on the piece that you were talking about a little bit more about Larry Hoover being a kind of a reformed mindset and understanding who he is and understanding what it was that he was doing and how that impacted the community, right? And these are the exact people, these are the exact black men that and when I say they, everybody else that doesn't want to see black people succeed, this is exactly who they don't want us to get a hold of, right? You know what I'm saying? Because this is Malcolm X after the pilgrimage, okay?
Yes.
And that's why they had to go do away with Malcolm X, because he got clear-headed and he started to see crystal clear. And then once he had that clarity, along with his his communication skills and his delivery and his bringing people together, Oh man, they saw the danger in that. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest thing that he did was he connected with Martin and was like, "Hey man, stop beefing because all we doing is making them money." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. So when I get it, black men, we kind of go through our phases, and you know we got plenty of problems that we bump into, and we gonna deal with those problems. You know what I'm saying? But one of the other things that we not always do, but a lot of times we do is at some point we get that clarity. And he has that, but he also had this, you know, this empire that he knew how to build and that he built. You know what I'm saying? And to have both of those things
with no money,
clarity along with empire building, you become the most dangerous person.
You become dangerous,
that's around, which is why this coming together for Larry Hoover was really big because of that. Right now, that's the other thing, man, to think about is that we rarely get a lot of these beefs to kind of ease up. You know what I'm saying? Obviously we got Jay and Nas, you know, back in the day to kind of come together after a little bit.
And that was like that was mainly corporate. You know what I'm saying?
it was corporate. It was
white.
Oh, he's on Def Jam now, so I'm the president, so I got to talk to him.
That was a white collar.
And I'm gonna still take your budget though.
But somehow they figured out a way to not be at each other's necks. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Regardless of what it was that allowed that. And so to get these two brothers to understand, like, hey, man, we don't need to be at each other's necks, and that if we come together, we can do more. We can start to do more, man. So that's big. Now whether it if there's any fruit that is bared from this tree, I can't really say one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? But it's the first steps, and that's what we need.
Yep.
We always need
those
first steps. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody can maybe take this first step, and it might inspire somebody else's first step. Then we can start to see, you know, some real togetherness, because let's be perfectly honest, it is good to have a lot of these organizations that try to come together, such as, you know, NAACP and even the BLMs and things like that. But they can only get to certain people at a certain place.
They don't have the they don't have the influence level.
They don't have the influence level, and they just don't have the impact. And the impact comes from guys like this. You know, big name guys like Kanye and Drake. Hip hop drives a lot of our community. And to be perfectly honest, if any of those organizations really ever want to take the next step, they have to take the next step by getting these guys in a good place. And I think that's what Jay Prince realized,
that's money.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Jay Prince realized that and was like, hey, this is how we can get this, because I know how to build. And so I think that was a big thing. And then just shout out to these brothers for even like considering it, you know, putting it on their radar and saying, you know what, I can find a way to be able to pull this off. And I think, and it all went over well. You know what I'm saying? What's crazy is you didn't hear a ton of news about this, and you probably didn't.
Hey, you don't even see like press photos.
Nah. And you didn't.
You see screenshots from the Amazon show.
Because there was no shenanigans. You know what I'm saying?
That's when you know it's no shenanigans.
But when it's no shenanigans, then they don't want to drop us no headlines or whatever. So this is headline material. But obviously, we're never going to get that headlining material.
I saw more headlines about his boots than the actual event.
Oh, facts. 100,000%. Because it's too positive. It's too positive. It's too good. It has too much of a positive effect on our community.
Yeah, it was either their boots or like, oh, the merchandise was so basic. Like, who cares, man?
Bunch of stuff that don't really
that let you know how brainwashed people are. Yeah, that let you know how brainwashed people are. When you're looking at like intangible, I mean, it's nothing tangible they're talking about. When you're looking at those like just boo-boo intangibles like that nobody cares about, like, come on, man. Yeah, that's what got like BLM in trouble. When you arguing with cats like J. Cole, that's what makes these artists not want to mess with you. And that's when they start to kind of call you out.
They can unlock that bread too. You know what I'm saying?
They can unlock their bread, but
they can unlock so much bread.
Even if I feel your cause, if you out here arguing with me because you don't feel like I'm doing enough.
Right.
And I'm like, how do you know what I'm out here doing, bro? Like you on Twitter.
And let's be clear, a rapper's job is not the same job as a BLM person's job.
It's
like you have
their job is to show up at the event and just support it. Like, hey, I support it, and that's it.
Yeah, man. And so that's the thing. Just like any good organization, like everybody ain't an engineer, because everybody would be down in the weeds and wouldn't nothing get done. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a reason there's a CEO and a COO, and there's other people that are project managers and stuff like this.
This is why you have a marketing team and a sales team. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the CEO is not going to spend that money that the marketing people need. You know, come on now.
Right. Because you need different people to take on different roles. Right. And so what they like, you don't need to go to the software engineer and be like, hey man, you don't know how to do HR. Of course he doesn't know how to do HR.
That's not what he does.
That's not what he does. Same thing here. These are rappers. Rappers ain't supposed to be doing the BLM stuff. Y'all supposed to be doing
and that. Let's be clear too.
And let me play my role.
When we unite, we make the money. When we beefing, they make the money. You know what I'm saying? Because they get then that's when they can start doing coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we're not even hating on BLM either. This ain't like a BLM bad session at all. This is more so we just free game is all it is.
We have to provide critiques of ourselves. You know,
we got to. You can't grow if you don't critique yourself. If you can't look in the mirror and just take a hard look at the flaws, you never gonna be able to smooth them rough edges. You never gonna be able to do it.
Michael Jackson told you, I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Man,
exactly.
Hey, if you just checking in, man, we got a lot of cats on here right now, man. If you checking in with us, man, Fresh Out, J Camp holding it down, LB's holding it down, Bebo P's got the night off, man. But if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel, hit our IG Fresh Out Show, without the E. You know how it goes down. If you got some friends, man, you need a last minute gift. These are just on the website now. You know what I'm saying? The brothers ain't even got these yet. I ain't shipped them out yet.
Yeah, I ain't got them yet.
We got that, man. We got the shot glass. You know what I'm saying? You had a hard week. Go ahead and put some in this cup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fresh Shot get you together. Fresh Shot get you together.
We're going to get you right, man.